3.
Part 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 3.
So we're doing another part here.
Yes.
Another part 3.
Yeah, we're going to start off with characters that are probably not going to make it, and then move into characters that are never going to make it into Smash.
The shit he came up with.
I'll include footage because you guys don't know what these games are.
You could make up something for the last character you have. You could just like keep putting up random images and be like, it's not him. Nope, that's not him. Nope, that's not him.
You think this is a real game?
Oh my god, I've been had! So next up, we're going into probably not. We're not in Dustin Land yet, but we're heading there.
Yes, this is characters that, after the previous ones, probably much less likely to show up, but still within the realms of possibility. It would be a pleasant surprise to see these guys happen.
Yeah.
We think they would be cool. We're going to start off with another Donkey Kong Country character, King K. Rool.
No, I'm surprised because like when we talked about this before, you were leaning even like no, like you didn't want him in here. I think another great villain, iconic looking character. He's kind of big.
Yeah.
So I think that's also interesting. We like the heavy, you know.
Yeah.
Boxing gloves, his blunderbuss, that shit crazy gun he has.
Yeah, and Donkey Kong too.
The way he like throws his crown, his body slams, jetpacks. You know, you have a lot of different ways you could use them.
Yeah.
I like an idea of like having a Kremlin shield.
Yeah.
Like Peach.
Yeah, just like pull out like a claptrap or
that's such a perfect way for that character.
He could toss the bees and leave them as stage hazards, maybe. The zinger bees.
Not the bees.
Not the bees.
That's a cool idea. Yeah, it suits Donkey Kong Country well. And again, you have Donkey Kong. Give him the iconic villain.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not a Donkey Kong Country fan, or 64, or Returns, but I do love Tropical Freeze. It doesn't have an iconic villain.
Yeah.
So I have to still say King K. Rool stands out in my mind.
Yeah, for sure. Better than those Tiki-Tac Tribe guys, for sure.
Yeah.
His final smash, he would summon an army of Kremlings to do his bidding. And that could take many forms. They could show up on the pirate ship and blast into the stage.
I like that.
They could show
like
up in
that
like
a lot.
a big wave and like try to like attack enemies as like just like little minions running around.
I would try to replicate the digital like graphics of the Super Nintendo for his stage of his pirate ship.
Yeah.
So it looked very different than like Toon Link stage.
And you have to bring on that final boss music from Donkey Kong Country.
Look, I've talked my crap about Donkey Kong Country because I don't like it. It's not that good. Its music, however, is fantastic, and the best Smash Brothers song is Sticker Brush Symphony. So I want that boss fight music on that stage. I mean, it's already in Smash Brothers, but you know.
Yeah, just
Give me that icing
it's a
on that
no-brainer.
cake.
Just
Yeah.
icing on that cake. Yep.
Next!
Shovel Knight!
I'm thinking about our own list here, and I'm wondering, maybe we should have Shovel Knight and Shantae flipped, because Shovel Knight might be more likely, because he's the new hotness versus the enduring hotness that is Shantae.
Yeah.
However, this is where we have him, because I don't think either is going to happen, to be honest with you.
Yeah, to be honest.
But Shovel Knight would be great. Obviously, he could dig the dirt. He could throw that at enemies. He could occasionally find items in the dirt, which would be fun. I like your idea of him being immune to pitfalls.
Yeah.
It's Shovel Knight.
Yeah, like if someone placed a pitfall, he would just be able to walk over
That's
and ignore it.
hilarious.
It'd be pretty good. Or you could just dig it up and use it himself.
That's good
If
too.
you saw an enemy do a pitfall, you could dig up the pitfall, or even the mines.
Yeah.
You could just,
If you time his swing, maybe you can like deflect certain projectile and such, just like you can in Shovel Knight. He's got a pogo attack and go all screwed with duck on you. The propeller dagger. Hit like Infinidagger to go across would be great.
yeah, that would be rad. You could toss anchors or
true.
the potions from Plague Knight. You have a lot of options in terms of his relics and other abilities.
And we know for the Final Smash, Shield Knight would appear, and they would just, be buddies.
Yeah, Shield Knight would like launch him up in the air. He would jump off the shield and then be able to like come down really hard.
So you activate it, and like Shield Knight's falling, and you have to get there to have the Shield Knight effect take place.
And then you have the cutscene or just a Final Smash thing where you just it'd be like Snorlax, but you could aim it.
Ooh.
In terms of like how it would you just boom, just blast through the ground.
There's so many cool things you do. Shovel Knight's a great character, and I like that we have the spin-off sequels, and I know it's a little bit of a tangent, but I'm looking forward to the true Shovel Knight 2 or Shovel Knight 3 or whatever they do.
Yeah.
So.
Bring Blades of Passage as the stage because that music is amazing.
It should be in Smash.
It should, definitely. Next. Quote, and or curly brace from Cave Story.
Yeah, alternate outfits.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not or, you're putting in quote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But quote's cool, Cave Story's great, another indie gem.
Also fantastic music. Iconic game. The Switch added the co-op mode that you and I have enjoyed.
Yeah, that's
really
fun.
Awesome. You have your basic shots. You have the fireball shot, which I personally love, where it's just like rolling,
the bouncing fireballs.
Oh, it's so cool, and it could be so cool in Smash Brothers with the curve stages and such. Especially the way it bounces off walls. Can you imagine being like on Hyrule Castle and you could shoot it and it would bounce down into the danger zone?
Yeah, that'd be rad.
There's so many cool things you can do with quote. King as the King Sword attack.
I imagine like we specified with the Inklings and like Mega Man, there would be no melee attacks.
Good point.
It would all be the guns, and he'd just swap out the guns based on what specialists do.
This dude has an attack where he shoots out bubbles, and just more and more bubbles appear around you. One, they can absorb damage, but after a certain amount of bubbles, they just shriek across the screen and cause damage. One of the cool, unique ideas I've seen for a weapon in a game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, put them in there. A Final Smash Balrog would be fun if you know the game.
Drop down and boom.
Yeah, I like it.
Just blast across the screen.
Once in a while, falls on its face and then gets up.
Huzzah!
We disagreed about the stages. You thought...
I was thinking Amiga Village, you were thinking Egg Corridor.
The reason why I was thinking Egg Corridor would be cool, one, again, great music, but the whole game has great music. But two, it has the pits where the hatched eggs, so you have a couple different, you have the top area, you have a mid area, and then the bottom area, you have that enemy that shrieks across and causes a lot of damage.
Yeah.
So, I think that would be a unique
good
take.
stage hazard.
Because a lot of stages, we do cities and towns and such, and it's, even though Village is in a cave, it looked different. I'm just trying to think even more.
Get out of the villages and out of the cities and stuff.
More platforming abilities.
Yeah. So next.
Captain Toad.
Yeah, Captain Toad.
So, I like Captain Toad.
Captain Toad's nice.
Toad representation makes sense to me, and Captain Toad is the best Toad. So that's where I'm arguing.
Yeah.
It used to be Toadette, and Toadette could be an alternate because she's playable in Captain Toad.
Yeah.
So, and we're getting the remake of Captain Toad, which is cool. So he can throw turnips. He's got his pickaxe. You do callbacks to older games if you wanted to have him fly on a carpet. If you could, I thought since one of the main things he does is climb ladders, you could just make ladders appear, which would be a little silly, but it'd be kind of cool since he doesn't jump.
Yeah, he canonically can't jump, so including him having a jump alternative would be kind of fun.
Yeah, so maybe you can also pull stuff out of his bag, if he's going to throw a gem at you, or put down a spring or something for him, like Sonic. But you'd have to come up with ways to make him work, and I like the idea of Sakurai trying to, you do the work, buddy, not me, trying to make a non-jumping character viable in a platform fighter. So
that'd be fun.
He's adorable. He's got great music. I think he's cool. Final Smash, the Toad Brigade and their little ship can come down and start helping out and shoot, maybe.
The Toad Shroom ship.
Yeah.
And a stage that is kind of like a puzzle box with rotating pieces and switches
some elements
and stuff.
that like flip and such.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, Captain Toad is deserving.
Next, Leon S.
Resident
Kennedy.
Evil.
Leon Kennedy.
My favorite character from the Resident Evil series. We already have other Capcom characters in Smash. Leon's such a badass. You know.
He has his knife and his roundhouse kick attack.
Of course.
He has lots of different weapons at his disposal: shotguns, rocket launchers.
If you time the counter right, you could do a little backflip, knife slash. You know.
Yeah.
Like when he's fighting Krauser.
One idea we had was to have his final smash be Mike show up on the helicopter, and at the end of the cutscene of him blasting away the enemies, he explodes.
Like gets shot down from a rocket off screen.
Every single time.
Every single time. I love that idea. It's a very particular reference to Resident Evil 4, but I don't care. I love it. Otherwise, you could have star members show up and help him, but come on, you'd rather that.
Yeah.
Chris could punch a boulder, but this is better.
This is way funnier.
But Leon, a character that uses guns, so we have another version of it. He doesn't quite play like Snake, because he's not setting traps, he's not sneaky about it.
He's a little more agile.
Yeah, he's agile, and he's
a little
more aggressive, more in your face about it. So, I just love the idea of seeing him move around in that world, doing his flips, doing his shots and such.
It'd be cool.
That kick alone would be so cool.
Yeah, that roundhouse.
I love that his voice in the game. So, like, even hearing him talk in the game would be really fun.
Yeah.
Get launched and just be like, Ada!
Ada!
Thank you. See, this next character, I can take a siesta.
A lot of Sun games. Golden Sun for the Game Boy Advance.
You remember that, kids?
Yeah, you remember that, kids? Adults? You remember that, adults? Because no kids have played Golden Sun because there hasn't been a new game for a decade.
Yeah, I guess so.
Why do you end it on a cliffhanger if you're not going to make a fourth game, you bastards? Anyway.
That's a cliffhanger?
The third game ended on a cliffhanger.
There's 3 games? I thought there was only 2.
No, the DS one.
There's Golden Sun and Golden Sun Dark Sun.
No, Golden Sun, then The Lost Age, which is also on Game Boy Advance, and then Dark Dawn.
That's close.
And it ends on a cliffhanger. Just finish it. Just please finish the story. Anyway.
We'll get him off the moon someday.
Isaac already appears as an assist trophy. You may know him as that weird anime guy that has giant hands that he summons to push things.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Which could be an attack.
It could be an attack.
Yeah. Again, you and I both like the idea of you live an assist trophy and then you get promoted to the big leagues.
Yeah, that'd be really nice.
Yeah.
Isaac would have a sword, but only use it for melee attacks, if ever. In Golden Sun, you have magic abilities called Synergy, or Synergy, it's spelled like this, but basically, you have magic attacks that are based on elements. You have these little guys named Jin, you can equip them, and it would change what abilities you have. So I was thinking, have his down B special. Just swap these Jin out on a basic rotation, and they have to kind of recharge. And each element would have a different focus. They would change his attacks and the way he moves slightly, kind of like Shulk's sword styles.
Okay.
So Earth would be heavy, and he'd be heavier, and he'd be a hard hitter. He would summon like a rock spire from under or over. He could toss like chunks of Earth at enemies, and summon a pillar of Earth to launch things real high.
Yeah, there's a lot of directions you can go based on the abilities.
Yeah, take a look at some of the animations for the Synergy and Golden Sun games. They're really cool.
I actually helped with Final Smash because the most memorable thing to me about Golden Sun was its cool battle music.
Yes.
And the perspective when you're fighting a character, the camera just does this cool shifting effect.
Yeah.
So I was thinking you could do a summon from the game, and then the cool shift could happen.
To
represent this is what Golden Sun would look like in HD.
Yeah. And the summons are all really cool. They have awesome animations. But going back to his special attacks, switching between the different elements, fire would be focused on projectiles, distance attacks, throwing jets of fire or fireballs. Wind would be focusing on jumping and recovery. You could knock enemies over and just have like a gust of wind push you up, or maybe shoot lightning.
Sorry. You have a lot of abilities.
Well, they would swap out.
Okay.
And then for water, you could freeze enemies or heal a little bit, and the Jin would just rotate, and you wouldn't be able to like swap them out right away. You'd have to wait for a little bit until it charged back up.
But look, Camelot looks like they're doing a good job with Mario Tennis Aces. Maybe their reward will be able to make another Golden Sun game.
Please. I would love it.
Okay.
Next, a character that you are much more likely to know.
Look at him.
Sora. From Kingdom Hearts. Sora's cool.
I mean, to put it simple and clean, like, he is an iconic character, he's a beloved character, people are passionate about him, they enjoy him in his games, he's got the Keyblade, which just would look fun, he's used to fighting in colorful environments, so he just fits in so well. His dodge roll is one of my favorite abilities.
He has that thing where he spins the Keyblade and tosses it and it comes back to him, the strike rate ability.
He's got a couple spells, so if you want to mix it up from him being a sword fighter, even though the Keyblade hits more like a blunt instrument than a blade.
It's more like a baseball bat.
Yeah, kind of. I would like his ability to be like or his recover to be like the slow glide he learns from Kingdom Hearts 1. It's so funny just to see him slowly floated in.
That'd be fun.
A little Tinkerbell nod. I imagine you have to limit the Disney involvement, but I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. And if we if we gave him a final smash, if we could get Donald and Goofy with Sora, he could do a Trinity move, like those weird little cutscenes where they like form a ladder or bash into something. Just a little team attack where he brings Donald and Goofy on and have them fight. And you could even make them assist trophies if you wanted, if you could get them in the game.
You know, again, we're in fantasy realm, so I don't mind throwing this one out.
Yeah.
When Sora dies, you hear Donald cast thunder.
Or Goofy uses an ether.
Got you with that one.
That was good. I really like that.
So, Traverse Town, I imagine.
Yeah. Well, alternately, the world that never was from Kingdom Hearts 2.
Bastion.
The one with the big giant, like.
That makes sense.
With this thing that's on the cover of the game, the big heart moon thing in the background, there's like this towering spire city. That'd be rad.
Sora's so cool. Put him in there. Give me
Please.
Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 on the Switch.
Speaking of people that appeared in Kingdom Hearts, so we have Neku from The World Ends With You. He was in Kingdom Hearts 3D.
Oh, yeah.
The World Ends With You is getting a remake on Switch. This would be a cool character to bring on to Smash Brothers because he'd play really weird. He'd be a very floaty...
I'm doing Neko moves.
Oh, okay. And technical sort of fighter. He would have like fire and ice spike coming up from the ground. He could toss enemies with telekinesis. He'd be like if Ness was like more floaty and weird. And Ness is already kind of floaty and weird. Like just up that factor and change up his attacks so they hit a little bit harder. So he would be easily launched, but also be easy to launch other characters. He has partners and this weird like puck mechanic where they do combos on one screen and then on the other screen you have to do combos and you have to like sort of keep track of both things at once. And you could do that passing the puck thing is the final smash, and the puck could like damage enemies. His stage would be the Shibuya Underground, which is like this weird time-stop dead zone version of Shibuya Tower and that big scramble crossing. That'd be cool to see.
Shibuya would be cool, and you could reuse it for...
Yeah, for other characters that I may be suggesting in the next tier.
You know, it's so funny. Like this next character, I'll throw it up there. I was looking at our own like notes that we had. That's why we keep looking down. We're not afraid of the camera.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe we should just skip him. Like that's how little respect he gets. Like even while we're doing this video, and after we've already agreed upon him and came up with moves, I was still thinking like,
yeah, I understand. But, you know, Nintendo and Namco are kind of buddy-buddy right now.
If they have any thought of reviving him, this would be the way to do it.
Bring him to the Switch.
So he's got his air bullet. He's got his ring that like helps him with the jumping abilities and air bending abilities a little bit.
Yeah.
So the wind bullets, the ability to grab enemies and throw them down. I imagine he could like summon his characters from his own game, like his enemies to bounce off of for recovery.
That'd be cool. Just a lot of throws.
Throws and wind-based attacks. Those are his two main things. He's got a great jump, so...
Yeah, he's got that jump and then like that float thing that he can do.
Yeah.
That could be his recovery. His final smash would be some kind of air thing, maybe a big whirlwind.
I imagine.
Maybe bring in some of the supporting characters from the game to bring in a big attack. It's been a long time since I played Klonoa, so forgive me for like if you're some diehard Klonoa fan
that doesn't exist.
Wants a way, knows exactly what ability to give him. If you like want to pick from a list.
But he does satisfy I like mascot characters, so
he's definitely a mascot.
Yeah.
Next
up is Steve. The
Ride Pod.
No, but like Steve is maybe one of the most recognizable characters nowadays.
Yeah.
And a game that I actually saw this week, 144 million copies sold.
It's amazing.
So if you guys don't know who Steve is, it's Minecraft.
Yeah, Minecraft guy.
Really, really cute alternate outfits for this one. Think about it.
Yeah, he can do anything.
You'll have his way he attacks, his tricky animation for his like axe and sword, which would be really adorable to see. And
it'd be nice.
I would like the idea of him being in a minecart.
Yeah.
So you could go like woo, and like a Mario's bike kind of thing.
Yeah.
I love the idea. Like, what do you do in Minecraft? Anytime you like fall in a hole or you just want to get out quickly, you just put blocks underneath you.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, if you did that, you could make like little dirt walls for the characters to have to break through. So you could come up with like cool traps or cool platforms with it, and it would suit Minecraft's building aspect into Smash Brothers in a simple way.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
It'd be a unique take on a unique character. Bring him in.
Yeah. I think like maybe an item, assist trophy, or his attack, but a creeper needs to be involved in this somehow.
I was like, one of his attacks could like he just drops a creeper and then it just.
Yeah, I don't know. I think an assist trophy.
Yeah, probably.
Because then it would just go after whoever's closest to it. Hey, what you doing?
Yeah.
Come on, everybody.
That sure is a nice everything you have there. It'd be a shame if something happened to it.
But so yeah, Minecraft stage, much like the Mario Maker stage, but different Minecraft themed elements where it's changing and someone's building. And Steve's a cool character, and I think Microsoft would play ball.
Mm-hmm.
A less likely character in Microsoft's portfolio is Banjo and Kazooie.
Banjo-Kazooie is a great game. Banjo and Kazooie are great mascot platform characters. They'd be a nice fit for this game. They'd be a very nice fit with Smash Brothers. I'm gonna edit that entire thing out just to spite you.
You should leave it in there. You trolled me so much, I get to troll you.
Okay, do you think I should leave it in there? People, vote now on your phones. Alright, so Banjo and Kazooie, they team up. Banjo for melee, Kazooie for specials.
Yeah, and like turn Kazooie and like shoot the eggs out,
Yeah.
I would like this one to happen. I wouldn't be sad if it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
That was a cool game. Second one's alright. Nuts and bolts I don't like. And that's about it. So
yeah. It'd be cool for him to come back. It'd be cool for him to come back in this way.
Mascot characters more deserving than Klonoa, but like in the same like tier where it's like I don't really mind one way or the other.
Yeah. It'd just be cool to see.
Yeah. I like their voices if you couldn't tell.
Yes.
A Mumbo transformation would be nice for a Final Smash, and Spiral Mountain would make a cool stage.
Yes, it would.
Yeah.
Next, we have brought it back
Oh.
for the second part of this. Phoenix Wright.
Oh, yeah.
Phoenix Wright is a lawyer. We don't have any representatives of the legal system of Japan in Super Smash Brothers, and that's a truly underserved market.
That's true. Olimar was disbarred.
Yeah, that's true. Ever since Olimar was disbarred, it's been difficult for lawyers to get into fighting games.
So he was a lawyer in a fighting game. So I imagine his attacks would be similar to his Marvel vs. Capcom representation.
Yeah. Again, kind of slapstick.
Yeah, he's a goofball. Like, we fit trainer in ours, so we need more goofballs.
Yeah, bring him on. He can throw papers and briefcases and like do the ejection. The big speech bubble could be a thing.
Ooh, great music as well. So I like it as an oddball choice.
Yes. Yeah, Phoenix Wright would be great.
Yeah.
Next, the star of the hit NES game Dragon Power.
Yeah, you guys have you know Dragon Power, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yes, we're talking about Goku from Dragon Ball, and
although we would pick the Dragon Ball Z representation.
The Dragon Ball Z,
the adult
yes.
Goku.
Adult Goku is a bit better. He's more popular,
more
for
recognizable,
sure.
Yeah.
And I mean,
there's not much to say here. He's very controversial. You're either hitting that like button right now, or you're thinking about disliking us, because I know people in my personal life. One desperately wants him and was flooding the Smash Brothers ballot to get him in there. The other thinks it's a travesty and almost doesn't want to play the games anymore if Goku's allowed in there. My argument is sure, he comes from outside the realm of video games, but he's been in a shit ton of video games.
A shit ton of video games, a shit ton of fighters, a couple platform fighters, if you remember the Jump games on DS.
Yeah, definitely. It's a Smash Brothers knockoff. But he is an iconic character. He is a character that's mostly beloved.
Yeah.
He's easy to do for his attacks. We don't even really need to get into it.
You're done.
Instant transmission. I don't know. Nimbus. I don't know. Either way you want to go.
Any of it. You could do any of it, and it would
go
all
on
work.
forever. So
he's got a very good moveset, very iconic moves, and he would be a no-brainer. He really would. He'd be strong. He'd be fast. He'd be,
I get if they don't do it. They don't want to go down the road of licensed properties outside of video games. But for me, a third party is a third party in this one. And
yeah, for sure.
I would be perfectly happy with it. Again, you're bringing cool music. You can have a cool stage. So
yeah,
I'm pro non-video game characters in Smash Brothers.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Monopoly Man. Old Man Moneybags or whatever it is.
Uncle Pennybags.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, next on our list, we have Gino from Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars.
Oh yeah, I remember when people were really upset about him being a Mii Fighter outfit.
Oh.
Gino is a character that I like, but I don't quite understand the love for.
He'd
and
be
it
pretty
seems
cool.
To grow as time goes on.
I think it's a meme at this point, and that's why he's so low on our low list.
I like him fine, and he has cool attacks, little finger shots, and different spells, and he's got a cool backstory, and within the game it's neat, but
he'd be neat to see.
Yeah.
But beyond that,
I don't have a lot of enthusiasm here. There's a couple cool attacks, there's ways you can do the final smash.
Yeah, his little pop gun thing on his arm would be neat to see.
Trust me, I know it's going to sound stupid because we have Mario and Luigi and Paper Mario, but if we had a sequel to Mario RPG, I'd like to see what they do.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So, yeah, throw them in there, but again, we're not super jazzed.
Yeah. And finally, on the third tier, we have Noctis from Final Fantasy 15. I do not own that game. It's all you, buddy.
Okay, I do own it. I would like to finish it, but I will finish it once they finish it. There's more DLC and updates and game balancing changes and new content coming all the way to next year, which means this game's going to have 3 or 4 years of still being developed as it's out.
Yeah.
I'm not a PC gamer. I'm not used to this early access nonsense where they kind of lied to me and like I bought a season pass, but my season pass doesn't cover it because they keep adding new seasons to it, which is silly. But it's a good game.
Yeah.
It's not great. It's ranks pretty high up there for Final Fantasy for me because the battle system is so much fun, and that's why I like this character. He is wrongly in Tekken. He doesn't belong in Tekken. He's not. His moveset doesn't match it very well.
Yeah.
But him teleporting around the Smash Brothers arena and
Yeah.
using spells, he's very different than Cloud. If you're thinking there might be like too many sword fighters and such,
he would play very different.
very different. Like just for the dash moves alone,
He would be zipping around all over the place. He'd be very fast, but probably pretty light.
Yeah, I would say
he wouldn't be able to take a ton of hits before he goes down. But
that fits the character well.
But I think his agility and the way he could like catch people by surprise with that warp strike of his would be really neat.
Obviously, yeah, there'd be more than one attack around the warp strike, maybe even up to 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
But it's fun to Smash. The bros show up in the regalia,
Yes.
and they help him out for a bit. That'd be fun. So he's got cool music again, cool locales you can pick from. Probably going to come to the Switch in some version or not because they want to get that thing on everything.
Yeah.
And there is a crossover with Half-Life, with Minecraft, with shoot. There's another Ubisoft property. I'm not even thinking of it right now. I think there's a Ghost Lands crossover. They'll put his ass in anything. He'll sell ramen. He'll sell out for anything. So,
in terms of willingness to put him in other stuff, he's one of the most likely.
I feel like Square has already sent emails to Nintendo being like, "Hey, you want to knock this? Like, what we gotta do?"
Yeah.
And we're like, "We don't even have Final Fantasy 15. We don't care."
Yeah. The only.
Like, I think they'd rather have Noctis in the game than Cloud.
Yeah.
It's up to Square.
The only thing is like, is Nintendo going to go for it? I think that's a much lower.
I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. I really don't.
We'll see.
Sakurai's a strange, strange man.
Indeed.
So, now that we're in this part, we find ourselves in Dustin Tier Land.
Yes, this is the tier which I have made the most suggestions relative to Andrew's suggestions.
It's a dark place.
We are going to enter Garth Marenghi's dark place. And starting off the Dustin tier, Andrew, you had a suggestion that is absolutely never going to happen.
Jump up, superstar. Pauline. I love Pauline's representation in Mario Odyssey.
She's cool.
She's really cool. How does she work as a character?
She doesn't.
That is a good point, and one that I struggle with. Maybe she could have a retro version of Donkey Kong to throw barrels.
That'd be cool.
Like, it's like her and Donkey Kong are buddies.
Like, in my notes, it's literally just question marks.
Again, please, dear commenter, help me out here. I like the character so much, and I would like to round out, like, in my head, I see Peach, Daisy, Rosalina, Pauline, and this 4-player fight, which visually looks awesome.
Yeah.
I have to figure out how she fights. Now, another suggestion I have, because her other representation is the Mario and Donkey Kong games, so she could use the wind-up toy lemmings for different attacks, and it would represent a franchise that has had multiple games at this point. So there are some ideas there, Dustin.
Uh-huh.
She could sing.
She could.
Yeah. She could she could order characters in New Donk City to do things.
Play music.
I assume they have some kind of police force or military in New Donk City.
Yeah, those tanks that tried to blow Mario up.
There you go.
The enemy tanks. She was working with Bowser the whole time.
So, again, I need some help here, but I definitely think the Mario vs. Donkey Kong toys are the way to go. He says it's impossible. I think it's higher than the Dustin tier, but not enough to make a bet, because I don't want to lose yet another bet.
Yes.
So, I want it to happen.
Yeah, the bets that we make, either he wins by a large margin, or I win by a large margin. Or he wins on a technicality.
I've definitely won on technicality. You have never won on technicality. I won on technicality more than once.
Yes.
So
Next, we're gonna have some of the characters. This is the when we're entering true Dustin land, in which I suggest characters that are never going to happen, but God, wouldn't they be cool? Django would be in this tier if he wasn't already a Konami property.
That's true. This is where he belongs.
Number 1, Beat from Jet Grind Radio.
Sure.
Beat's cool. Beat is a cool character, and he deserves to be in more stuff.
I like the music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's he would be a fast and floaty kind of fighter. Lots of horizontal speed, not a ton of recovery. He would use kicks with his jet-powered rollerblades and like dash moves a lot. He would be able to tag enemies with sprite paint and have like a little, attack, just like a little area of effect
Yeah, he
attack.
like dances while he does stuff.
Yeah, lots of like break dancing. And,
I like the way he
flailing arms and
moves. It
legs.
would look cool on the bigger stages with him skating.
Yeah,
So.
he would have a definite advantage in large stages, but a disadvantage in smaller ones.
That's true. It'd probably take him longer to like turn around and such.
Yeah, he would.
And like I imagine he would gain momentum as he goes, because
Yeah.
that's kind of how you do in the game. It's like you're a little slow and you pick up speed, and then you can even coast.
Yeah, he'd play loose. He'd definitely play really loose, but I think that would be a really cool kind of character to have.
Never
Sega's.
gonna happen.
No, never gonna happen. But Sega already has Sonic, and he would be another cool character to play off of that.
Oh, Final Smash! I love the idea of the police coming out.
Yes.
Wanted poster showing like Mario or whoever he gets caught in the Final Smash, and then the police just run with their batons, beating the crap out of them.
One idea I had either two things.
It's a little politically
Either
insensitive right now.
because Beat is often on the run from the cops, and maybe he'd have a wanted poster of himself. I was thinking of either he takes like a stencil and spray paints the face of another character, or he tags another character and paints them so they're like vaguely Beat color.
That's funny.
And then the police
Mistakenly
go after that character. It would be really funny. It would be really cool. And anyone tagged is like fired upon by the sergeant with that ridiculous pompadour
Going
haircut.
back to a previous episode, his stage would be
Shibuya,
yeah.
as with Neku.
Just a slightly different like colors and
Yeah,
a few
you'd
different
be able
images.
to like swap out the screens and like add like some rails. It'd be cool if you could grind on rails.
Yeah, that would make sense. There aren't a lot of rails in other stages, but
Yeah.
they're So as we were saying, as the sun went down,
Yeah, we're back due to some recording glitches.
yeah. Oh well.
Oh well.
We're darker.
Yeah, we're darker now, so
Yeah.
that's cool. All right, where were we? Dustin tier.
Oh, we did beat.
We just did Beat.
Yeah.
Next character,
Coffee Cat.
Coffee Cat, Morgana.
That's her.
Yes. It's a boy cat named Morgana.
Everything I know is a lie.
Yeah. But Morgana's not who we're talking about. We're talking about Joker, the main character from Persona 5.
Hang on a second. If you just cover your like nose and like have a mask,
Yeah.
look at this Joker cosplay right here.
Yeah, I mean I got the messy hair down. I need to trim myself up a little bit and
Yeah, a
wear
little
some
bit.
cool
So,
red gloves.
This is all you. I know you're more of the love that Joker type. So.
Yes.
Oh, Persona 5.
Persona 5, good game. For those of you who haven't played it, it's a good game. Take a look at it. Here, I'm going to put in some pictures and stuff, so that'll be fun. Joker, I imagine he's a stealth kind of character, so he would be acrobatic and focused on dodging enemy attacks.
Makes sense.
His melee attacks would be pretty weak, but he would have really strong special attacks, all involving him summoning different personas with his little mask rip-off thing. That would be cool. I haven't decided between whether having it just be his own persona Arsene, who is the top hat, demon-looking guy,
Okay.
and just having him be like in the background, like as his shadow,
Right.
and using the specials that way, or having him summon personas individually, different ones. And if so, I would include personas like Pixie and Jack Frost and Dekarabia and the ones that we all know from Shin Megami Tensei. I say all, but the people who have played Shin Megami Tensei will know, or Persona will know these characters. Limit it to one per special, or just have Arsene the whole time.
Yeah, either way.
So, for Persona 5, has really awesome all-out attack things.
Would that be your final smash?
That would be the final smash. And bring back the Shibuya stage.
Yay!
It came around for a third time.
That makes sense.
Just change it to,
P5.
Shibuya Scramble Crossing shows up in all 3 of those games.
Yeah, why design 3 stages?
Yeah, just have the one stage swap out
Slightly
some
different
assets.
elements, yeah.
It'd be cool.
Yeah.
Next. Wonder Red from
I own
Wonderful
that
101.
game.
Yeah, he owns the game sealed because he never fucking played it.
It's still in the shrink wrap.
Wonderful 101's pretty fun. It's a neat concept, neat game. I think it should come back on the Switch because it never really had a chance on the Wii U. It's a really fun, decent game, and I think Wonder Red with his giant fist made of people ability would be really cool. And there's lots of crazy special attacks that characters use.
Yeah, okay.
It's a top-down, like it's a sort of like Pikmin
Action
mixed
brawler.
with action brawler,
Yeah.
and I think he'd be a good fit for it. And there's lots of different potential
Yeah.
ideas you could use for Wonder Red.
Yeah, I'm with you.
He's a cool guy. Next, we have something I don't have any kind of thing for.
Why?
Ark from Terranigma. No one's ever played this game. No one even knows what Ark looks like.
You don't know what Terranigma is.
Yes, but Terranigma is amazing. And
Yeah.
Ark is cool. He has he'd be sort of average mobility and power. He would be focused on melee attacks. He has a lot of reach because he uses a spear. There's no spear users. I think that would be a cool way to round out the cast. He'd have long reach, but in the way of projectiles, nothing. So he has a really cool dash, slide, and kick combo that he can launch himself out of like a ground slide. That's really cool and fun to do in the game. He would use his B attack to like spin the spear around. It could deflect projectiles and do local damage. And a spinning air attack where he just whips up with the spear. He'd be a cool character to play as. Never going to happen. We are never going to see this character or this game ever again. But
Is that
it'd be
Quintet?
Quintet, yeah.
Yeah.
Quintet and Enix.
It's like Soul Blazer, but not as good.
It's like Soul Blazer, but 20 times better. We never got it in the
I beat
States.
Soul Blazer. I not played Terranigma.
You know how people in Europe complain, it's like, we didn't get Earthbound, for so long. And it's like, well, we never got Terranigma, so as far as I'm concerned, we're fucking even.
Whoa!
Yeah. Terranigma's that good.
I doubt that.
It's really good.
But then again, I doubted you with Earthbound for years.
Yeah.
And I love Earthbound.
Turns out I have good taste in games sometimes.
Oh, but wait till you stick around this YouTube video.
Yeah. And his final
Prove the
smash.
contrary.
His final smash would be opening Pandora's box, which is the impetus for the game. He literally opens up Pandora's box, and all sorts of awful things come out. That'd be a cool thing for Final Smash.
There it is. Alright, so the next one. I thought of Goku, and he's been talked about a lot, and I tried to think of who else from the non-gaming realm would be an interesting character. And I kept going back to this Unseen 64 article I read where the Legend of Zelda team, right when they started making Wind Waker, they were involved in pitching to J.K. Rowling. They wanted to make the Harry Potter games, and EA paid more money, got the bid, made a bunch of mediocre games that no one goes back to. Imagine if the Zelda team made it. Now granted, we would have lost out on certain Zelda games, but who knows?
It would have been pretty amazing.
I still want them to do it, actually.
Yeah.
Even though we went through the movies and the books, why not?
Bring
You
back
could have games that are not based on movies, but actually based on the books.
Yeah.
So they could be
Lego
longer.
Harry Potter was alright.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
So, Harry Potter as a character, obviously your spells, you have no real physical, he is weak. He might be the weakest physical attacker.
Yeah.
Who actually would have a physical attack. But you're casting spells, you have, your broom to ride, so...
Yeah.
Um,
Using Patronus as your final smash.
oh, that's a nice touch. I like
Pretty
it.
cool.
Yeah, so... if we're going in the realm of non-video game characters that I think would fit into the world and be interesting, that was a pick I had.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's go back to more nonsense not gonna happen.
That was nonsense not gonna happen.
Yeah, I said more nonsense not gonna happen.
Okay, I thought you were like contrasting it with your plan. Like that Harry Potter was more likely than any of these other ones.
I think he is more likely. He's a very popular character. I think a popular non-gaming character is more likely than a dead character from a dead game.
Well, not all of these are dead. Some of them are.
Sure, but you understand my point.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. And it's a really pedantic and stupid argument we're having between mine's less impossible than you're impossible.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. None of these guys are going to show up.
No.
Including Brian from Quest 64. It's not even a good game.
I like it despite its flaws.
So do I.
It is, you can exploit it and get cheese through it, but I always liked that game. I bought that game years ago. I actually got it as a combo pack with Conquer's Bad Fur Day. But,
interesting combination.
Yeah, it was from a movie gallery. But they were cleaning out some old games. I fell in love with that game. It's really cool. You got cool spells. I could see the rock spell coming in. The water tower wave attacks. I love the music.
I'm into elemental spells. You can see it thread through my suggestions.
Sun or elemental spells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are really cool ideas that aren't being used in Smash, and I think that would be fun.
Yeah, if Quest 64 is THQ?
THQ published
Right,
and
so
developed in
THQ
Japan by Enterbrain.
That's unlikely then. But I was going to say, THQ Nordic is reviving dead THQ properties. Maybe it has a second life as a game or a remake.
Yeah.
But there's something there. I like the Brian character.
Yeah, so. Brian's cool. He's a just cute little kid running around with this big wooden stick. He would... Yeah, it's just just really simple melee attacks.
Kind of fun battle system.
Yeah, and you could use any of his elemental attacks. The water pillar.
Yeah,
that just makes water gush up from the ground. He has a rock throw, a fireball, and this wind cutter thing that arcs around and goes behind enemies. That pretty rad.
And not the most obscure game we're going to talk about.
No, we're going to go even more obscure with our next pick. But first, what would his final smash be? I thought he uses every elemental spell at once and makes a big explosion.
Yeah, okay.
That would be kind of cool to see.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else in particular from the game that stands out to me where...
Yeah, he doesn't have a big final attack versus the boss. It's just you get your spells and that's all you do.
Yeah, some kind of castle stage with the surrounding areas would be fine.
Millroad Monastery is the starting area.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And finally... Solitarobo Red the Hunter for the Nintendo DS is an excellent game. This, again, never going to happen. But I like the characters, I like the story. It's a very good game. For those who are not familiar, which is going to be most of you, it's a sequel to a game called Tail Concerto on the PS1. It's okay, buddy. Keep going. It's okay. So, he is a dog man that rides around in this little robot suit with big flappy bird arms, and basically it's generally revolved around picking up and throwing your enemies and spiking them into the ground, which would be really cool. I like characters that do a lot of throwing, a lot of slapping other characters around, and I think that would be a cool addition to Smash. One of the cool things about Red is that he lives in a world of anthropomorphic animal people, and he is a mutant that transforms like a werewolf. Only when he transforms, it's into a human person.
That's pretty funny.
So he's a reverse werewolf. And he gets, stupid superpowers when he does it. So, he merges with his robot and gets, these big fucking angel arm things that he slaps things around with and, fire attacks. And it's really cool. It's a very underrated and underserved game. I think it's worth a shot if anyone can get a hold of it. It's a great game, and I think that's a good Smash character. Do you have a suggestion?
For Solitarobo,
no.
Bob?
For Cliffhanger for Sega CD.
Oh, no.
Sly Stallone
I
for
was
Smash.
just doing some light reading while you were going, so...
Yeah. So that is the scraping bottom of the barrel so hard you're into the dirt. This is a game that no one played, but I 100%ed it, and I loved it, and I think that the character deserves a second life.
Okay, one last time. Who made it?
Sawata Robo?
Yeah.
Exceed.
Oof.
Yep. Exceed.
Okay. I mean, it could be a good game, and like, I think it's definitely the most obscure thing we talked about today. So.
For sure. It's a good thing to end on. It also has Nintendo DSi exclusive features.
Holy
Fun
shit.
fact.
Oh, man.
Yeah. How do we come back on that?
I don't know.
So that's the end of Dustin Tier. You see why it was called that. You see why it's the bottom of the barrel of obscure shit. Because that's who I am on the inside. Is an obscure meme lord gamer who loves just trash games from 100 years ago.
Wonder Red, Brian for Quest 64,
Red the Hunter, Beat and Joker.
I mean, Joker I'll give you, but wow. Wowie wow.
Yeah.
So, why don't you give us a likely character, an unlikely character that we didn't talk about, and impossible, it'd have to be a dream / Sakurai starts taking a lot of prescription drugs / somebody has pictures of, Nintendo employees and are forcing them to, put in the Square from Adventure.
And the seventh son of a seventh son joins the Nintendo America corporate and talks to a seventh son of a seventh son at Nintendo of Japan. Who
Carl
talks to a guy at
Solotorobo himself has to go and
the
become a board
planets
member.
align in the sky, and a beam of light shoots down and hits Sakurai directly in the fucking forehead.